for this segment.
This
we
is
have
wonderful.
Scott Long here. Welcome to the show, Scott.
Thank you.
Now, I know you from the old TBT days.
Yeah. I used to be at the St. Pete Times. My partner, Chris Cosenza, and I both had a podcast there.
A podcast on the TBT website, right?
Exactly, and a blog.
About poker.
Yes, exactly.
And how funny that you come out with a Ante Up, Florida's poker magazine. That's kind of a segue.
Yeah, well, we had a front row seat to how big Florida poker has gotten over the last year or so with the podcast and the blog, and then we decided that no one is really covering poker as well as it should be. There's some national publications aren't really covering Florida poker, and actually local media doesn't cover it very well either, so we thought there was a market for it, and that's our first issue, and it's getting pretty good buzz around the state.
First issue, I got to be honest with you. I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask this question, all right?
Absolutely.
All right. A magazine, starting magazine number one in this market is, okay, I'd question that. However, I understand great marketing and I understand passion. So don't get me wrong, I think that can overcome a lot of stuff. Then, poker, screaming, plateauing a little bit, okay? Not crashing, but plateauing. I mean, we've seen a lot of poker.
Exactly.
There's a lot of poker out there. I don't even know who, something like this might actually be helping and might be great in this situation because it is actually figuring out what the hell's going on out there because I'm kind of confused.
Exactly.
So what made you step up and say, I want to have a magazine about poker? Come on.
Well, yeah, we got a lot of, a couple kidding responses from friends when they said, a print magazine? Don't you realize print is dying?
Well,
and one of the things about poker is that it's kind of a slow game. You get to a poker room, you're waiting for a seat,
Sure.
You're waiting for a hand, you're waiting for a tournament, and people read at the poker table. So that's why a magazine made sense to us. We also have a good website, anteupmagazine.com, and the podcast as well, too.
Well, how do you distribute this? I mean, do you have, is it free? Do you buy it? Where does it go?
No, it's a completely free publication. We wanted people to read it, so we had to distribute it to virtually every Florida poker room, as well as there's a very vibrant bar poker, free poker league community in the state, so it's also distributed there and charity events and things like that. But to your original question about poker plateauing, it has plateaued probably nationally, but in Florida it is still growing and growing very quickly. A lot of that is because of the law that changed last year that really kind of allowed what we like to call real poker into Florida. It's still not as good as maybe Nevada or California or some of the other big states, but it's a very big market that's growing now.
In at tracks, at the dogs and the ponies and all that kind of stuff?
Absolutely, and Indian casinos, and hopefully soon we'll be on some of the boats to nowhere, cruises to nowhere.
How's it been for your first issue? What's the
really
response
good.
and feedback?
We're getting a lot of buzz, but my partner and I just took a big tour of the state. We did 65 hours, 16 poker rooms from Miami to Jacksonville and back. Got back at 2 this morning, so we're pretty tired. But we talked to everybody there, poker room managers and players.
And you were dropping magazines off as you was going?
They were actually already out there, and it was great to walk in every room and see people reading it and responding to it. So
this is a September issue. This is it.
This is it. It's the. You need to sign that for us. Are you going to do this monthly? Or are you going to do this?
Yes, it'll be monthly. The next one goes to press September 11th, and we'll be out in the poker rooms hopefully a week or 10 days after that.
Fantastic. And how's the advertising sales going?
Very good. We made money in the first issue, which is pretty good for a new magazine.
That's hard to believe.
Absolutely, and we're expecting a lot better coming up.
That's fantastic.
We have to go to break, but I want to get your website. But I want to say you also have a podcast on your website, which is the same thing that you were doing with TBT.
It's the same podcast. It just kind of reformatted a little bit for our taste on our own, but it's essentially the same thing. That's on anteupmagazine.com. You can also subscribe to it for free on iTunes or an RS feed or anything like that.
And there's a big difference between doing a talk show and actually publishing a magazine. It's, two different
they're different animals, but they are also great cross-promotional. So we're able to do things between the podcast and the magazine to the website, and it's a really kind of a good suite of products we have.
Fantastic.
Give us your URL one more time.
I'm sorry?
Give us your URL one more time.
AnteUpMagazine.com.
AnteUpMagazine.com. Get out there, sign up for it. And you can't get this delivered to your house. You're going to have to go down to the poker room and get it, right?
We have not done subscriptions yet, but that's coming soon. But there's a nice little flippable version of it on our website that looks exactly like you would have it if you had it in your hands.
Perfect.
That's fantastic, man. Wonderful. Congratulations, man.
Much.
And we wish you the best of luck. Seriously.
You.
We are going to take our next break. As soon as we return, we're going to be chatting with Jolie Gonzalez and Pam Lagan.
Media Talk is presented by Tampa Digital Studios and sponsored by The Creative Loafing. We'll be back in 60 seconds.